All right. Well, we'll get to that this Sunday.
Yes,
We'll see you at the show if you're there. And I'm going to challenge The Miz again.
You can see
I
me
challenged him
saying
last year on this show, and he did not step up. But this year,
when The Miz
I want to take down The Miz.
Chick magnet. Anyway,
Yeah,
we'll move on.
I doubt you. I doubt that. All right. I got to get to this. I know you actually have NBA at the top of your list for once, which is rare, but I think I know why. The Celtics pull off a major deal to get Kevin Garnett. And by the way, if you want to get in on this or anything else we're talking about, the number is down here.
It's 651-0589.
802 if you're out of the area code and can't see the show live.
Yep.
This is a big deal for the Celtics, who now have Ray Allen, Kevin Garnett, and Paul Pierce, and in a weak Eastern Conference. Although the Eastern Conference is starting to build up a little bit, they're looking like one of the major teams to beat. How far do you think the Celtics can go with this move? Do you think it was good?
I think they can go. I think they can go as far as any referee deceiving the rules wants them to go.
Here we go. That's right. You're anti-NBA. I'm sorry I posed the question. Let me go ahead and answer my own question then. The Celtics are in good shape if these three guys can stay healthy and stay playing on the same keel. I don't know who the heck else they're going to put out on the court. I know they're high on Rajon Rondo, and Big Baby Davis from LSU might develop into a starter there. But I don't know if it really matters because this is a good threesome who is ready to play together. None of these guys have ever played in the finals. They are hungry, and I think that they're going to have a good chance to dominate the East.
I think they could do big things in the East. I mean, every analyst is saying to think that they can maybe make it to the finals. I don't know if I'd go that far right off because it takes a little bit of time for players to gel. So let's see what happens through a season or two. But
the NBA season's long. It's 82 games. They can have a bad first half and still bounce back. And all you got to do is make the playoffs, and I think they would easily in the East. I think pretty much. I think they can
make the playoffs. I think they can make the playoffs. But I really think that still the best team in the East is still the Cavs. I still think the Cavs are a very good team. They're one of the top teams in the East, and you know LeBron's going to get a little bit of help in Cleveland, and the Cavs they're going to keep making.
What are they waiting for?
They're going to keep.
They're waiting until all the good free agents go away. They need to make a move because that team is not championship ready.
I think you're going to see the Cavs. They're going to be in the Eastern Conference Finals and the finals.
The Pistons, the Heat, the Bulls, and the Celtics, I think, are your top four teams in the East. The Cavs are in that mix, but I don't find them to be one of the top teams.
You don't have to do a lot to be good in the East, though.
You don't, but I'm still thinking that those four teams are better suited than the Cavs. They have more go-to guys.
I don't know. I think the Cavs showed that they can get it done. I mean, they got
LeBron showed that he can get it done.
Well, yeah.
Well, the Cleveland LeBron,
Daniel Gibson? Daniel Gibson, dude went for like 31. And
okay, well, we'll see how he does in his sophomore campaign.
Okay.
A lot of guys have a hot rookie year, and they don't necessarily bounce back.
I'm not saying the Celtics.
I don't know if Larry Hughes is ever going to suit up again. That guy's got a lot of injury problems.
Yeah. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens. I don't know. I think the Celtics. Yeah, they'll probably make the playoffs. I mean, it's pretty easy to make the playoffs in the East. So.
I want to speak about a dude that talks about basketball a lot, Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah.
This guy, I'm sure everybody knows him.
For the most part.
African-American gentleman. He's on ESPN. Mostly he just covers basketball, but every once in a while they'll give him an opportunity to do something else. And then he's way out of his league. Yep, sort of like if you start talking about golf. That's what happens to me with this guy. And he was on a show recently where they were arguing who was better between Tony Gwynn and Cal Ripken, just for argument's sake, because they both went into the Hall of Fame. Yeah. And, of course, Stephen A. Smith decided that Tony Gwynn was better and made the argument that Cal Ripken's streak wasn't great at all because he just simply showed up for work. And I've heard that argument
on more than one occasion.
But you go ahead and tell me that you showed up for work ever in your life for 2,000 straight days, and then maybe I'll be impressed. Because I'm pretty sure that everybody's used a sick day here and there, a vacation day, this, that, the other thing. You have not showed up for work that many days in a row.
But they get from like November to March off.
How does this? That's a long time to go without an injury, which are freak things and aren't necessarily, you can't pin those on the player. Sometimes those just happen. This guy was in the lineup. There were sometimes he played when maybe he shouldn't have, but it's still impressive that you can be in the lineup worthy of playing that long, especially all with the same team, mostly the same position.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can't take away from it. It was a great streak. You know, it was exciting.
It shows the ignorance of Stephen A. Smith as a commentator in anything but basketball. And I'm going to go ahead and make a bold statement here because I'm going to go ahead and say Stephen A. Smith is a racist, and I'm pretty sure that most people would agree. This is my opinion, but this guy is always, always, always racist in his favor, and it's weird. And I would like it to not be true. I try to watch for him to argue against that, but he seems to always prove that theory right. and I really wish he wouldn't, and because I feel like we're getting into a time when that kind of stuff's getting pulled out of the media and getting pulled out of sports, and I still feel like he kind of pulls that back a little bit, and there's no need. I understand that that's, you know, his roots or whatever, or his heritage, and, you know, I'm trying to make sure I don't say something too out of control, but this guy needs to just back up a little bit and take it for what it is, and give guys credit when the credit is due, and stop that whole thing.
Yeah, that's your thing. That's your thing. I mean, I don't really know. I don't really listen to a lot of what he has to say because he does talk a lot about basketball, and I really won't watch like a basketball show. Like, I rarely even watch a game, so why would I watch a show talking about basketball? And I don't even like basketball all that much. So I really don't see him talking about anything.
Why would I watch a show about you talking about talking about basketball?
Yeah, okay. Why? Yeah, I don't know. It's your thing. You have the beef with him. So
I just had the beef, and I thought that it needed to get out there. Maybe people will start to think about it a little bit, and maybe at some point somebody can complain in reverse on this guy. You know that if there was a commentator of a different race that was being, you know, stereotyping towards his own people, somebody probably would have already jumped on this. Possibly. But a lot of people are kind of soft on those issues and don't want to hit right to it.
Yeah.
But since we're a public access show, we kind of say what we want.
Yep.
I'm saying it.
Yep.
So there it is.
Well, yeah.
Change gears if you like. Go with something.
I just kind of remember that I wrote this down now. Did you know the Lake Monsters are in first place?
Wow.
They are in first place. I was impressed. I was like, wow, they're actually doing okay. Because I remember.
That matters about as much as the fact that our softball season ended last night.
Yes, I know. But I just remember saying at the beginning of the season, I asked if they were going to be any good. You said they are always predicted to be good, but they always end up sucking. They just happen to be in first place about the midway season.
Well, hey,
their All-Star game's coming up.
A meteorologist will always tell you there's a chance of rain, and then if it rains, they're right. So does that really mean that there was a good job by the predictors? No.
No, I mean, normally they're sucking at this point of the year. I mean, they've won like 5 games.
They're due.
You know, they're 84 games back.
They were due. The Nationals have stunk for a long time, and finally, they haven't.